who are here who remembered that it's Monday now, or Monday or Tuesday, still haven't nailed it down. But McGill, Waldrop, and Witzel have showed up on time. Actually, to be fair, I've trained everybody that it's 5:35. So maybe we'll just keep it at 5:35, but I scheduled this one for 5:30 because I wasn't work. I was working today, but not at my job. So I thought I could maybe start at 5:30, go back to starting at actually 5:30 instead of giving myself the extra 5 minutes. I don't know. We'll see. If everybody shows up at 5:35, 5:37 again, maybe I'll just starting and then again. I'm a little puffy on the sides. I gotta do a little bit of shaping on the sides. How's everybody's week? How's everybody doing? Guess we can wait for people before we get started. Do have to get started though, because this is one of the more, it's not complicated, but for a live show, it's one of the more intricate, I guess, pieces that I've probably ever done, which is why it's going to be a two-part. We're going to do part one tonight. We're going to part two tomorrow night. So we'll see. We'll see how far along we get tonight. Maybe everything will go super smoothly and we don't need a part two and I just finish it tonight. I crack myself up. Because there's like a 2% chance of that happening. Oh. Maybe nobody's going to show up on Monday night. And then it'll just be me and Stanifer and Witzel and Paul and McGill just hanging out. Well, we know that Peterson can't come because he's playing slow pitch on Mondays. But the Richardsons said that they were going to come on Mondays. Finial better be here because he takes care of my bots. And yeah, lots of people said that they preferred Monday. It felt like Monday. I didn't actually do a count. I did a poll to see whether Monday or Tuesday was better for everybody. I didn't count the actual total votes for each one, but it felt like it was leaning towards Monday. But there were certainly some Tuesdays, like a fair number of Tuesdays. So we'll see. We'll see. I haven't set it in stone yet. Maybe we'll do tonight and tomorrow, part one, part two of this project, and then we'll see if more people show up today or tomorrow and go from there. King B's here. Let me know, you guys that are already here, let me know if you can't come to either Monday or Tuesday. That's what I should have asked instead of what do you prefer? Because I just said, which one would you rather me do? But what I actually want to know is what day can people not come? Because that's what actually matters. Because I don't want to do it on a day where most of my dedicated audience, my wonderful assholes, can't come. But it felt like most people were like, yeah, actually between Monday and Tuesday doesn't make that big a difference. But Peterson said he plays ball on Mondays and can't come. Megan Richardson at least said that she would prefer Monday because she works on Tuesday. but is usually home mid-show from work. Friend Amy Gersh, that we don't see around very often, said that she's off, I think, Mondays. I think she said that she would prefer Mondays because she's off. We'll see if she comes around. Long-time friend of the show that we don't actually get to see very often because Saturdays didn't work for her. Paul says good either way. Stanifer says doesn't matter. Witzel was just texting to see which day won. Did you fire me a message on Instagram or something? I'm just gonna sneak you a dirty bastard in the box. Glad I didn't, because Custom has it and is looking through it. Yeah, that sucks. I asked one of my liquor stores, the liquor store here that has the biggest variety. I asked them, and they were like, "No, that isn't," because everything in BC, everything that retails in BC has to go through the BC Liquor Distribution Branch, BCLD. I don't know. Basically, the Crown Corporation that the province controls brings everything into like a couple of big warehouses and then distributes from there. So all the liquor stores have to purchase out of that warehouse. And they said it wasn't in the system. I also didn't actually know precisely what they would be looking for. I was like, something bastard? It's okay. Sounds like LCBO here. Yeah, probably is essentially the same system. BCL. No, BCLC is the BC Lottery Corporation. BCLDB, BC Liquor Distribution Branch. Something like that. I don't know. They have a big warehouse in Kamloops and another one in the Lower Mainland somewhere. And everything gets bought out of those warehouses. Liquor Control Board of Ontario. Yeah, same kind of idea. Hey, Bruce Bauer's here. Ran into Bruce Bauer in the parking lot of the Crow's Nest Artist Collective the other day. Totally didn't recognize him because we've only ever met once. And that was the first time we met. And we were inside at the art gallery and we were all masked. So he calls me from across the parking lot. He's like, "Hey, Mike." And I just wandered across to talk to him. And he's like, "Hey, did you decide what night the show is going to be?" I was like, "I think I'm going to do a 2-part this week and do both Monday and Tuesday." And he was like, "Okay, cool, I'll be there." And I was like, "And you are?" Because the only time we'd ever met, we were all masked up and I didn't recognize him. And his hair grew. He's growing his hair out like a dirty hippie. His top hair is about as long as my beard now. And it was not like that before. Too cheap to pay somebody to cut it. I'm telling you, man, this is free. Well, it was like a $40 investment for that clipper, the hair clippers, many years ago. And they paid themselves off in 2 haircuts, and now it's just go time. You gonna sneak me some across the border if you ever come across? That's cool. You might just be able to, like, if you were coming across the border, you might just be able to get some in like Seattle and just, or wherever in Washington. Yeah, you don't even need to smuggle it. Just buy it at the duty-free liquor store at the border. Get a Flowbee. There you go, Bruce. Stanifer's got your back. You get a Flowbee. You can attach it to your vacuum. Is Flowbee still a thing? Because I would get a ton of views if I Flowbeed my beard. because you can set it to like the theory, right? Is that you can set the depth that the flow bee cuts, and I could cutting my beard with a flow bee and a shop vac, or my dust collector, cutting trimming my beard with a flow bee on my dust collector would be I would get a ton of views on that. I'm sure I would. I changed from USPS to UPS and it get hung up in customs. Guess I go back to USPS. It's probably just what like the ratio. I mean, that's the fourth or fifth maybe box of stuff that you've sent me, and none of them have hung up in customs. So it might just be like 20% of the time it gets hung up in customs, and it doesn't matter. Like, could just be a ratio thing, like a percentage chance. Because my number 6 got hung up at the border for a long time coming from Wisconsin, and it had no reason to. All right, Chili's here. Witzel, just curious, Mike, do you have Memorial Day up there? We don't have Memorial Day. It's not, we don't have a long weekend this weekend, same as you do. We have similar kinds of, we have a Memorial Day type holiday called Remembrance Day in November. God, I would feel really bad if it wasn't November. Yeah, but we have like military tribute days like that. It's just not, we don't have Memorial Day. November 11th, that's right. But no, you guys have two. You have Memorial Day and you have Veterans Day in terms of like military appreciation days. We only have the one. But yes, happy Memorial Day to all my American friends. Julie's here, Sean's here. We're up to 9-ish. I'm gonna do an unboxing quick before we get spinning. Because I'm pretty sure I have enough time to do what I need to do for part 1 of this project. And then tomorrow night we'll do part 2. Almost married a Canadian Air Force lady back in the 90s, but the Navy wouldn't approve it. Navy has to approve military personnel who they get married to. Is that for like national security reasons? Like you can't marry a military person from another country because they might be a spy or something? Had top secret clearance and she was a foreign national. Okay, yeah, I suppose. But damn, that's intrusive. It's okay. Looks like you ended up with the right one anyway, man. New free box of glue from Starbond. Thank you to my friends at Starbond. They emailed me a while back talking about how they wanted to continue our partnership and did I need anything? And I said, yeah, well, I'm almost out of everything you sent the first time, so if you want to send another box of glue, raise your hand if you've had top secret clearance. Marv's hand goes up. What'd you have top secret clearance for? Hold on. I'm trying to think what Marv had top secret. Did you work in the docks in Esquimalt or something when you were in Victoria? Why did you have... Marv worked for the RCMP. Oh, well, I don't think I knew that you ever worked for the RCMP. Learned something about Marv today. I think we already established that Sean McGill probably currently has. What are we talking about? Top secret clearance. Yeah, we determined that Sean McGill currently has it because he works for CSIS. we projected that on him. We don't know that for a fact. But he lives in the Ottawa area and seems to know too much about. Well, I don't even remember how it came about. It was like, you should. How does he know that? Oh, right. He lives in Ottawa, so he probably works for CSIS. I don't remember what the actual joke was, or what he knew that. Okay, anyway. New box from Starbond. What do we have today? What do we have this round from Starbond? Okay, we've got. Oh, there's a new one. Yellow label. What's this? Starbond Odorless Thin. That's a new one. We've got our thin, medium, thick again. Same from the last round. We've got a new aerosolized. I did tell them I didn't want the pump kind. I wanted the aerosol kind of accelerator. So new accelerator. We've got some more medium thick black. We've got some more medium thick brown. And there's another new one. This is like a teal. Flexible medium thick. High performance. Starbond flexible medium. Sweet. Thanks, Starbond. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7 new bottles of glue from Starbond. And a new accelerator. Right on. Did they fix the code? No, they did. I did ask about the code. I was like, somebody told me they tried to order and they were told it was a one-time use. And they were like, yeah, we don't have a way currently to make it not a one-time use, but I will pass it along to the people up above. Yeah, I asked and they were like, I said, so is it like a one-time use thing or like, what's the deal? They're like, yeah, we don't really have a way to make it a multiple use. But I'll pass it along and see what we can work out. But I think if you use my affiliate link that's in the comment section, by the way, as is the code that we're talking about. If you use that affiliate link, you can use anybody's code. If you can go looking around YouTube for somebody that has a discount code on Starbond, because there's lots of us. And I think as long as you go through my affiliate link, it still gives me the percentage, 10% or whatever of the sale price as an affiliate, and then you can use their code to get your discount. There's lots of discounts out there, so I don't think you need to use my code through my affiliate link. But I could be wrong on that. That's just the way that my head goes. Because if you use my affiliate link, now you're in under me. And yeah, or you could just make a new email account to order your glue through. I don't know. Marv's going to order so much glue. I think you should order some of that flexible medium thick. I'm interested to try the new stuff. Odorless thin sounds like a good product. One more beer. Then we'll do this essentially 4 by 4, 4 and a bit by 4 and a bit. And we're gonna turn it essentially. We're making a lidded box, but essentially it's just 2 bowls that fit together. And then we'll make a finial that's going to go in the lid as a handle. That is my final answer on it. Yellow label is foam safe, so it won't melt foam. Okay, the kids' foam gliders and attaching like foam board together and stuff like that. That's good. It's a nice hunk of walnut. Yeah, you don't see a lot of 16 quarter walnut around. So this is like a 4 1/8 by 4 1/8 or so piece of walnut. A little bit of sapwood happening on that side. We'll see if that can come through a little bit. And then I got it on the faceplate on what I think is going to be the bottom of the bottom. But we'll find out once we get in there. And I think this side will be the lid. So we'll do the lid. We'll put a mortise in the lid. We'll flip it around. We'll do the actual bowl. And then we'll part it off, and we'll put a mortise in the bottom of the bowl. We'll part it off and do the inside of the lid, and then the mortise in the lid will be where our finial gets put in to create the handle. That's the concept. Also, the Dick was promised to go on the wall in May, so I've only got 1 day left. Okay, so I guess it has to be on the wall for tomorrow night's show then. I forgot that. I just have to drill this out. I just have to make this hole bigger for the Dick to go in there. It's getting to the point again in the year where it starts getting hot out in the shop in the evenings. So we're going to have to either start doing with the fan on or deal with sweaty Mike. Or somebody could come and put in some AC in here. For nothing, because I'm broke. We just decided that the next upgrade is going to be a new washer dryer. And we want good ones and stackable ones. So we want to do like a above and below instead of a side by side, so that I can build like a pantry storage type situation for the laundry room. So there goes the bank account again. It's all right. It's an investment in our home. It's how I have to keep looking at stuff like that. Oh. Well, I gotta say, 20 some minutes into the show and there's only 9 people here. Monday's not looking promising for the day that the live show is going to happen. Let's get this thing spinning, and we'll see whether we can create something out of it. Come on. That's pretty good for you guys, I think, right? Let's put one of these in too. because it won't matter because we're doing a mortise in both ends of this thing. So let's get it a little bit more stable. Get it round, and then we'll decide where we want. I said this was going to be the top, right? Or no, this is going to be the bottom of the bowl. This is going to be the top of the lid. So we'll probably cut. We want more bowl than lid, so we'll probably do something like that. But right now, we just need to get the bowl shape and the mortise. We can flip it around, then get the lid shape and the mortise, and then we can part it off. Uh-oh. Got the soaps from Megan. USPS put it on the porch in 93 degree. Luckily, I saw it on my cameras and got it before it melted. Well, I'm glad to hear. Because that could have ended up being... Maybe it would have been super cool having all of them melt together and then re-solidify. I don't know. All right, lidded bowl candy dish, something with a finial eventually. There we go. What do we want to do with this lidded bowl dish thing? It might be cool to just make it almost a round, like a sphere, like, because it's almost as tall as it is wide. We make it like a circle? No, I don't know. We'll just keep going. We'll find it. We'll find it in there. Round would be cool. Well, yeah, maybe. Let's see. Instead of doing whoops. It's been a long. Actually, you're right. It's been a long time since I've done a non. What would that be? Concave outside on a bowl. Let's try. Let's see. And I can actually start shaping the top too then. not actually round yet. I haven't gotten that part yet. Okay. Okay, well, at least we're round this way now. We'll just keep working it. We got lots of time tonight. We're only expecting to do half of this thing. I can't, the light is coming from over here, so I can't actually see what I'm doing on that end of the bowl, so I'm going to just skip that. It's also been a while since I turned a bowl, hasn't it? I feel rusty. I think we've got the start of a good shape here. Let's put a mortise in the bottom and get it flipped around. And we can work on the lid and then part it off. Nope, we flip it around. Yeah, work on the lid, get a mortise in the lid, part it off, do the lid. No, hold on. I'm so confused. Was this the bottom or was this the lid? I think this is the lid. Mortise, take it off, flip it around in the chuck. Then we'll do the outside of the bowl, put a mortise in it, part it off, do the inside of the lid. Okay, now I'm back. All right. It took me a minute there, but we're just figuring this out as we go. I do want to finish the contour of the lid before I flip it around into the chuck, though. mean, we'll be able to sand it once it's reconnected to the dish itself. But we don't want to do major shaping with sandpaper. That's a nice curve. All right, cool. And whether or not that was the original plan to have this be the lid, this is now the lid. And like I said, so this mortise is going to go in the chuck, but then we're going to plug this mortise with the finial at the end. So that's fine. Good. Clean it up just a touch. So less to do later. I'm going to try to get it pretty flat so that we've got a good glue surface for that finial when it goes in. Should we have measured that mortise to see if it'll fit my chuck? That'll do. Let's get it off of there and we'll flip it around. Come on. Come on. All right. Now remember what we decided. This is the lid. It's still, at this point, it still doesn't matter. I'm going to do tailstock again while we do general shaping. Because it's only 4 inches across, but it is a pretty substantial, like, weighty kind of piece of wood. And that bottom mortise is not stupid deep. We'll give it some support. And we'll see if we can't make it relatively symmetrical in terms of that curve and that curve. That's getting closer. Got a special tool that I attach so you can turn balls. Yeah, I bet you do. I don't know. That didn't quite work, but that's not bad. And I'm not looking for like spherical. I just kind of want it to match. Let's take a break. That's gonna just smooth out in the middle there a little bit. That's okay. And actually this little ridge that just happens to be right here looks like a pretty good place for me to cut that off for a lid. Let's sit down. Going okay. It's very Mike's Wooden Things and stuff. It's a very Wooden Things and stuff kind of shape. It's round. Like in two directions. Like most of the time. things are relatively round in this direction. This one's round in that direction too. We probably have to make walnut the primary wood in my classic line of game calls, with cherry and maple also being options. That's a pretty good list there. That's like three of my favorite North American domestic woods. Paul, your guitar is looking very awesome. Yes, yes, it is. It's pretty metal. You weren't lying when you were saying you were going for like a metal-y design. Is the lid gonna have a mortise where you said you're gonna cut? I already cut the mortise in the lid. That's what's holding it in the truck right now. Now I'm gonna cut a mortise in the base, and they'll both have mortises in them. And then the mortise in the lid will get filled with the finial. So basically we're gonna put a mortise in the bottom. Then I think I'm actually gonna sand and maybe finish the outside of this thing. And then I'll part off the lid. We'll do the inside of the lid. Then we can put the bottom in the chuck, do the inside of the bottom so that they fit together. And then tomorrow we'll just be looking at the finial and assembly and final buffing and polishing. Doing a tall finial, I don't know. We'll see what the chunk of wood tells me when I start cutting into it. I'm gonna do a disc out of this 4/4 piece of cherry that'll go in the mortise that's holding it right now. And then we'll turn a finial out of this piece of 8/4 cherry that we will then mortise into that, and it'll be like a cherry finial like that that's plugging the mortise. I don't want it to be too tall. I mean, it shouldn't be the focal point of the box, but I want it to be substantial enough that it acts as the handle for the lid. And I want it to be, I don't want it to look like it's going to break off. If you're, I don't know. Well, we'll see tomorrow night what ends up happening. Might get all the way to done the lidded bowl part of it tonight, and then tomorrow it'll just be the finial and assembly and final touch-ups. We'll see. I wasn't expecting to get the whole. I was thinking I might get it parted off and get half of it hollowed out tonight. But I'm kind of feeling the way that things are cutting right now, so I might as well take advantage of it. It's possible. I'm going to warn you right now, though. It's possible that I need to go take a poop in a little bit. I'm splitting the calls into 3 lines: the classic, fire, and divine. Ooh, that'll be all fancy burls and yeah, okay, cool. We're just about done the outside of, essentially, we're almost on the outside of 2 bowls. Let's finish them up. Wasn't a very short break, but that's okay. We're trying to get some stuff done today. I might just mark that spot because I do like that. That's about a third of the way. Third. I'm just going to mark that a little bit deeper so that I know that's where I want my lid. There we go. Now we will mortise the bowl part. And then we'll sand and... Actually, let's sand and finish the outside. Don't need this anymore. Hopefully that mortise and lid is going to hold up. That's cool. That is a very un-Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff kind of a thing, but I like it. Do a little bit of one of those. To add a little design element. Yeah, this is gonna be cool, I think, if I don't screw it up. Loud noises. What's the next phase? Sanding, I guess. Sanding and finishing the outside. And then we can actually part off the bowl and do the lid. Take the lid off so that we have it, so that we can trial fit into the bowl. Yeah, okay, good. We're sanding. And those were pretty good cuts. Let's start at like 150 or something. Here's a 150. God, man, I hope more people show up tomorrow night than tonight. More people said Monday than Tuesday, pretty sure. But there's only 10 of you here, so loud noises. Got a couple of spots. Gotta go down. Gotta go down. Couldn't be that lucky. Couple little tears. Okay, now I want another break because that made my arm tired. But we are, at least we're now at the stage where we can go like 150, 220, or 150, 280, 240, blah, 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 blah. We can crush through the grits now. Get it parted off. Maybe I overestimated the last time I sat down how much I would get done tonight. Because that's an hour already. We've done long shows. We want to leave some for the people tomorrow, though. We'll see. It might be quick from here. Finish sanding. Custom grit. Part off the bottom. Do the lid. Get it off. Inside of the bottom. Yeah. If it's a 2-hour show, it's a 2-hour show. If it's a 2.5-hour show, it's a 2.5-hour show. Let's get the bowl done. Let's get the lidded box done. And tomorrow night we'll do the finial and the final. Actually, maybe don't want to finish it because once I get the lid on, it's going to take a little bit of like final sanding to make sure that let's finish it all at the end. We'll part it off. We can finish it all after the finial goes in tomorrow. Because there'll still be a mortise on the bottom. Just toss the whole thing up in the chuck and do final finishing and sanding and blend everything together. Finial wanted a donut, and the first time something convex, Finial isn't here. Yep. Yeah. And I think he also said Monday. Maybe he said, I don't care. He might have said, it doesn't matter to me. But he definitely didn't say, like, I can't make it on Mondays. Where are you at, Finial? What happens if I get bots? Or weirdos? The alignment from the lid and the bottom might be a little out after part. See, that's what I mean. Like, there's not really a point in final finishing the outside while they're still connected. I actually don't need to take it all the way up through the grits at this point either. To be fair. I'm going to open my door because I'm starting to get a little bit. I have more crap than I need, but have special chucks for turning around stuff. Yeah, hey. These special chucks for, like, I still haven't used my super jaws or whatever they're called. Jumbo jaws. But I feel like they're going to come in handy, and I might actually get another chuck to just put them on and have them live on there. Have like a $300 chuck system just for turning tenons off the bottom of bowls. Are you ever going to turn yourself a hand wheel for your lathe? Maybe. I can't say what future me is going to do. Are you just talking about the wheel that goes on where the wheel is to make it easier to wheel? Because I don't really need one of those. Like to spool the tailstock in more quickly, more efficiently, because I use a faceplate, screw a piece of wood into it, and make a wheel out of it. Yeah, but for what purpose? Like if it's just to make the tailstock spindle go faster, I don't need that. If that's the hand wheel system that you're talking about. Get rid of the tube on the headstock. No, I need the tube on the headstock because that's what is covering my outboard side threads for if I ever need to do a 16-inch bowl. And why do I need a hand wheel over there? Like, I'm very rarely actually turning that part by hand. I can just turn it. Like, it's not... I guess I just... it's one of these things where I don't see the reason. Like, what advantage would it give me to make a hand wheel for it over there? Maybe it's just another one of these Mike doesn't know what he's missing kind of things, because I can't think of why I need that. I was just used to hand wheel instead of that tube. I mean, yeah, like when I'm turning it manually, I guess, but I don't. But the only time I'm ever turning that manually is to like look at tear out and stuff. And the tube is just fine. Beer. Then I don't know. At this point, I don't know how much more of this I want to do, because I either have to finish the bowl and lid tonight so I can leave them together until tomorrow. Like, I can't just do half of the inside because it could move and then not match up anymore. Current advantage right now is you haven't spent the time making it. So right now, I have the advantage. Did I ever show you guys my huge stack of maple beside my house? So we could go look at that. No? Ball says no. Road trip. You're just going to try to make us jealous? It's not... I'm not convinced that this is even a plus for me. My buddy... Buddy says, I'm picking up a bunch of maple from this lady. Do you want a couple of chunks to make some bowl blanks or something out of? It's like, I'm not going to say no to a couple chunks of maple to make bowl blanks out of. It's my boy Brad Ruff. He was one of my guests on the podcast. And we talked about how he just has people contact him all the time saying, here, do you want some wood? For either nothing or very little money. It was one of the times where he was like, okay, sure, I'll come look at it and see if it's interesting. And he messaged me and said, I just picked up a load of maple. Do you want a couple of chunks to make some bowl blanks out of? Let's go have a look. I'll show you. This is one of those, like, ask for clarification sometimes on things. Because when I pictured a couple of chunks of maple to make bowl blanks out of. This is not what I was expecting. Can I turn the camera around so that I can? Yes, I can. Oh, beauty day. This is my couple chunks of maple. Okay, this is an outdoor table, but these are, okay, this chunk of maple is about 6 feet long and maybe 10 inches wide. Got a little other wedge there that's probably 10 inches wide there. Got three more slabs there that are at least 4 by 5 feet long. That one is this thing is like probably 24 inches wide. By 4 inches thick. By 5 feet long. And yeah, they got a couple of cracks in them. But it's like a half a tree. Like, so, I don't know, is that what anybody else pictures when a friend of theirs says, do you want a couple pieces of maple? A couple chunks of maple and they drop off a half a tree beside your house? Resin. Yeah, maybe. Maybe if they that's literally those pieces of maple are the reason I got a chainsaw for Christmas. It's because I need to buck those down. I can't even move them. So I'm gonna chop them up with chainsaw and then see how bad all those cracks are. And then maybe they're resin, maybe they're like hybrid blanks that are partially resined. Maybe they're if the cracks are too bad, maybe they're like really small blanks. Maybe they're pen blanks. Maybe they're bottle stopper blanks. I don't know. But there's easily 300 board feet of maple there. I would say they average about 65 inches long. See, if Finial was here, he would do math for me. 65 inches long and 5 inches thick on average by 15 wide. It's a lot of wood. That's loud with the door open, but it's way nicer for me. So I guess you're just gonna have to deal with it. What's going on? Yeah, he wanted what gone? Hold on. I gotta go back and find out what Paul's talking about. Neighbor gave me a piece of Coca-Cola. 2 feet wide, 10 inches thick, and 10 feet long? What the shit? Sorry. 24 by 10 foot. No, 10, yeah, by 10 inches wide. Cool. Damn. Damn. That's like It's like a $2,000 piece of wood, man. That's nuts. You can't even deal with that wood. You don't have the tooling to deal with a 10-inch thick piece of cocobolo. You have to take that to a mill. That's sweet. Here's our finial. Friend that does my cedar has a mill. There you go. You at least get that thing chopped. If it's 10 inches thick, you could at least get it down to 3 slabs of 3 and a bit so that you can actually work with it. What do you have for bandsaw? You have a 1412? Because I guess, I mean, if you can lift it onto your bandsaw, a 14BX, I guess you do have the tooling to deal with it, but I cannot imagine what that weighs. 10 inches wide by 10 inches, like it's a beam of cocobolo. Hey, Paul, you gotta message me so I can send you some purple gidgee and other stuff. I want purple gidgee. If that's a real thing and you're not just making it up. 400 pounds. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be manhandling that over a bandsaw. Take it to your buddy at the mill and get it made into. Well, I mean, do you even really need it to be 3 inches? You get 5 2-inch slabs out of it. And you sell one of those slabs for $500 and you use the other ones for stuff. And then you send your buddy Mike $500. We'll go halfers. We'll go halfers on the slab sale on your cocobolo for some reason. Because I gave you the idea. No, this is unreasonable. Five inch and 3/4 thick blanks. Yeah. Yeah. 1 3/4 by 5 by 10 inches wide. And one of those would go for $500 probably. Your neighbor's an idiot. One piece cocobolo body blanks weigh like 8 pounds each. Yeah, I imagine they would. It's like my Purple Heart and Maple guitar blank that I had forgotten about. That's actually undersized body. Like it's only 12 inches wide. Normal guitars are about 14. And it's still like, I wouldn't want to be carrying that around. I only have to close that because otherwise the lighting will be garbage back here. All right, here's our thing. We are not gonna final sand everything. We are going to just part it off. Because there's no point in going through the whole sanding process when we still have to muck about with it later. I'm gonna need this. And I am gonna need This I'm gonna need to get a wipe. And let's part this thing off so that it doesn't go flying. And I'm just gonna go most of the way and then cut it with a saw. Except I lost my pull saw that used to hang up behind the table here. Must have knocked that off. It's probably down with the lid of my custom grit step 1. But I have another one. It's okay. Let's part this off, and then we'll do the lid. And I'm getting to the point where I am very much questioning how much further I want to go. Because if I part that lid off and I do the inside of that lid and don't do the inside of the bottom and it moves overnight, it's going to mess with me. And we're at an hour 22. Let's go. Trying to see how far I got down there. Oh, there we go. I can see. It's about an inch deep. That's about 2 inches deep. Hold on. Gotta get some chips out of there. Loud noises. I'll go right to here, which is, that can't be 2 inches deep because this thing was only 4 inches across. All right, I actually could get all the way across this thing. All right, that'll do for me. I'll cut the rest of it with the saw. I've got, I don't know, about an inch left in the middle there. And now I'm at the edge of my blade. So, I mean, I guess I could get the flush cut blade. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. So I thought that might snap, but. This is my only backless saw. Gonna have to remedy that at some point. Yeah. Eh. Okay. So that's going to be our bowl. That's going to be our lid. Let's get the inside out of the lid. Got to start by deciding if we want the ridge, like the lip part. I think we do want it on the lid. So let's do that first. They line up together close enough, Chili. Shut it. Just cannot win with anybody. There we go. So that's going to be our lip. Now we're going to start cutting the inside of the lid a little bit inside that so that that piece can purchase on the bottom piece. Tonight Chili's the worst. Yeah. Should we make a shirt? So now we're essentially just making a little bowl, like a really little, but this thing's like a, maybe a 1 inch deep walnut bowl with a little rim on it, or the little lip. Should we get the little, the thing out and measure for how deep? Because we do not, well, it actually doesn't even really matter if we go through the top, because we're going to fill it with a Finial. But let's not. I guess we probably should measure then. On this bowl, we can go about just under 3/4 of an inch deep, and we're at about a half, so we're actually super close already. So let's just get a clean cut, and then we'll sand it. That was pretty clean. I can go deeper than that, though. Let's just, come on. This show has never been about, like, being cautious. That's fine. That's fine. There's a little walnut bowl. We'll sand it. Actually, I need to come in. I can already tell that lip is going that way. And it needs to either be flat or go that way in order to grab the actual bowl. So we'll undercut it a little bit. There we go. Now we're set. We'll just give it a quick sand on the inside. Nobody's gonna feel the inside of a lidded box. So there's my drill. There's my drill. Does that even go in there? Oh yeah, we're good. All right. Do a quick sanding. Loud noises. Ooh, that's hot. That's lots for the inside of a lid. Oh, who invited him? Isn't it way too early for him? How you doing, my man? Bottom where the mortise is, it is about an 1/8 inch thick now. Yeah, pretty close, probably. But we're plugging that later, so it's fine. I'm gonna finish that. Am I? Yeah, I'm gonna finish that. Let's we'll do a quick. Actually, I'm just gonna do it with this Scotch-Brite pad that's all oily already. There's the custom liquid wax. Scotch-Brite pad. And then the inside of the lid of this thing is done. Get into that ridge too. Oh, you're referring to the 1/8 inch of the bottom of your bowl. Okay. See, that's what happens when I'm like turning and missing most of other people's conversations. This is gonna be nice though. Let's come on in for this. Because that's the inside of the lid of this bowl. Let's grab where is my stack of custom grit products? I moved it for some reason. Are they in here? Because I want to do some of the non-liquid wax. Oh, there it is. I'll do a quick of the non-liquid wax as well. Just buff it in, buff it out. And now that we're done the lid, I guess we have to do the rest of the bottom. Make sure that they still match up tomorrow, when we can then finish the outside of them as a unit and do the finial for them. For the inside of the lid, that looks pretty damn nice, doesn't it? Okay. There's the inside of the lid. Done. Let's do the inside of the bottom. I think I might have some stuff in the gears of my chuck again, because that didn't used to get the key didn't used to get all jammed up in there like that. But when are we celebrating your 1,000 subscriber lead? I subscribe that. I celebrate that every day, Jax. I wake up in the morning, and the first thing I think about, I go and I get my coffee, and I celebrate to myself that I have 1,000 more subscribers than you. Did you hit 4 today? Or like in the last couple of days? Because you were getting close. You should do a 4,000 subscriber giveaway, my man. Isn't there a money wager? There is, in fact, a money wager on this, Paul. It's first to 10,000. First to 10,000 gets $10,000 from Chili Man. I think wasn't that the deal? First to 10,000, it's $10,000. I know, Scott. I'm just kidding. Where are they all at? Why don't the other subs ever play on the show? Well, because a lot of the subs were just people who liked a video that I made at some point and used the subscribe button to like say that they liked the video. Like that's how subscriptions work. I don't really get it myself. Because I don't have 5,000 people who regularly watch my videos. I have 5,000 people who said they want to watch my videos. Get close. Only about, I don't know, 3/16 in from the edge on the rim here, so I'll just approximate where it is and then try not to overdo it. Some big tear out gouges, but that's fine. I need to square off the go square that off. And we'll find that rim that we need. Not yet. Why is that so much smaller? All right, because it's round, and I've taken off a kerf worth, and now it's too big, and so okay. So the kerf width screwed up my theory because things aren't. Okay, so shut up, Chili. If it wouldn't have been coming in at that point, the only lidded things I've ever done are like straight tubes. And so that the missing kerf didn't mess with those as much. The missing kerf messed with this by a fair bit. me think. All right, here's what we're going to do. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to get a nice clean glue joint on the face of this bowl. And we're going to pop a cherry in the middle of it. And then we'll cut through that and do the bottom tomorrow. And the finial. That's what we're doing. Actually, let's give us some more meat to glue to here. Because now we're not even giving two shits about the grain matching between the lid and the bowl anyway. So we could actually... All right. Later, Chili. He's like, he screwed it up. I'm out. Yeah, we actually don't care about the grain match anymore. So... just give ourselves some meat. And this board is barely big enough to get across the front of this. So I don't know why I went looking for pens. I have like numerous writing implements. Here we go. We're gonna give ourselves to there. We're gonna slap on a piece of cherry, and then by tomorrow we can turn that off and match up the lid again. So that's a thing that happened today. Looks like a good joint to me. So, not how this show should have ended. But we're finding our way through the world here. And tomorrow, during episode 2, we can turn that inside out, match it to the lid, and make a finial for the top to be a handle. That's a realistic expectation. It's nobody's first time here, right? Like, this is not... The fact that I screwed something up should not be a surprise. There we go. Nice even bead of glue along there. And if there are any gaps, we can star bond that later. All right. So this is where we're at. We've got the bowl of the lidded dish thing is now getting a bunch of cherry glued to it. And then this is a lid. I think that actually is going to end up looking cool. With a cherry stripe between the bowl and the lid, and then a cherry finial to use as a handle. It might have been a perfect mistake. Might turn out better this way. All right, change of plans does not mean that you screwed up. I know. Well, it does. I mean, I only had to change the plan because I screwed up. I just didn't see the physics because it's coming in at the, like I said, the only lidded box that I've ever done were just straight tubes. And so the curve taking out 1/8 of an inch doesn't actually make a difference between like the sizes of the two parts. It just changes the grain. Like, it doesn't make a perfect grain match anymore. But that thing was on like a this where I cut it. So by taking out 1/8, and now we've learned something on this show, and I've told you not to come here to learn. So how dare we learn something on this show? Tomorrow night, we make a new spot for the lid. I honestly, looking at it now, I think it's going to be cooler with like 3/4 inch cherry strip around between the bowl and the lid. Price of this thing just went up. No, you can't do it that way. You got to charge based on how much time it should have taken you. Well, but if it's $10 cooler, it's $10 cooler. Anyway, we're at 2 hours anyway, so it's a good place to leave it. Did we really expect for a lidded candy dish with a finial to be any further along than this after 2 hours? Shouldn't have. If we did, we shouldn't have. All right, later, Marv. Let's call this one there, and we'll come back tomorrow night at 5:30. Start by clipping those square corners off that piece of cherry, and we'll just dig back into it. At least I had a piece of cherry handy, and it actually came from the same board that the Finial plug came out of. It might be better. All right, later, Paul. Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming on the first, no, not the first Monday show. I did a Monday show last year. For some reason. I don't remember why. Or earlier this year. But anyway, tomorrow is going to be the first Tuesday show. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. See you next time. Everybody dig in on Finial if he shows up tomorrow night. Because that's a warning. Bye, everybody.